Hi, Billy. Since we're not able to get a video discussion here, I tried to give you a call here just earlier. I thought it might be easier if I just do a little recording and give you an introduction to the unit, and then send it off to you, and then you can toy around with it on your own time. This right here is the 1207i. Actually a really cool device in all of its capabilities and what it's able to do. Just turning it on, you get an idea of all of the frequencies that are going on in the air right now. This right here, as is quite a bit of noise, and you know there's a wire. Actually, we're right on top of a wireless router. I've got my computer that's giving off Bluetooth, and I think this actually works as a pretty good demonstration as to what you're supposed to do in order to do a scan. Right now I push the ATT plus, and that attenuation, what it does is basically it cuts down on the noise so I can see a differentiation on a signal when I come up onto it, which is really what I want to do. So right now I have this baseline amount of transmission, and if I take my phone, you see right now I put my phone up to it, and all of a sudden the Wi-Fi Max is going off. My phone is putting off some transmissions. But if I wanted to find out if my phone was transmitting or if it had a virus on it, I would put it on airplane mode. Now what that is going to do for me is once I put it on airplane mode, it shouldn't be transmitting at all. Now we know this was the baseline before, and so if I'd see it go up, and usually I'm looking for about a 4 LED jump. If I saw CDMA going up or Wi-Fi Max, that would definitely be suspect. And I'm just going to keep my cell phone next to the unit for about a minute. It takes about 10 seconds for any transmissions to be turned off. So after I turn on the airplane mode, I'm going to want to leave that. Or watch after that 10 seconds. During that 10 seconds, a lot of times your phone will try to dump all the information that it has on there, send those texts, so on and so forth. But after that 10 seconds, doesn't matter what phone it is, if it's still transmitting, that phone has been compromised with the virus. So as soon as I turn this off, you're going to see that once again the Wi-Fi Max goes up. I have a little bit of jump on some of the other ones. If I was getting a call, you would see CDMA 850 going up. But as is, my phone is just trying to get to the internet, and that's normal. Now I can using this same baseline, I can do a scan. Right now, if I take that off, I am still getting quite a bit more noise than I want to, so I'm going to dumb it down a little bit, quiet it. When I get to something that's transmitting, it's pretty obvious. You're going to get, you know, a really strong signal there. If I want to check, let's say this bug was behind the wall, and I couldn't, you know, tell for sure whether it was a bug or whatnot. I can actually double check. So what I did is I pushed this to mode, and you see the light is on the speaker there. Right now I'm able to listen to all the transmissions that are in the air. So if I heard an echo of me talking, then I would know that there was definitely a bug, you know, in my store, in my home, or whatnot. So that's a really good way to verify. Another thing that's really important when you're doing these scans is to realize how radio frequency works. When I'm doing a scan and I'm going past metal, for instance, when a sound wave hits metal, it can do a lot of different things. Or not a sound wave, but radio frequency. It actually causes a spectrum of frequency coming off of it, kind of like a prism with a crystal. It separates the light into different spectrums. Well, likewise, when a radio frequency hits metal, some of them go around the metal, some of them bounce off, some of them it creates a new radio wave altogether. And when a bug detector sees a brand new radio frequency, it thinks that a bug exists there. Now, transmissions don't work too well in metal, so just don't be worried about a bug being behind the metal, because it just doesn't transmit very well behind it. But inside the wall, you have all sorts of kind of problems. You have, cables, and sometimes you have rats chewing on that cabling, and that can cause, emittance of frequency. You have nails in the wall, which is metal, and so radio frequency can hit those and rebound off. When you're scanning and you see a jump on your scale, your first thing that you're going to want to do is check to see if there's any audio coming out of it by putting on the mode and listen for any transmissions. If you don't hear anything, then look closely and see if you can see a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall for like a camera. If there's no hole in the wall, then and you're not hearing anything, the chances of that being a bug are really slim to none. Because if it is an audio device, it's going to be muffled. If it is a video device, how in the world are you going to see if there's no nothing penetrating that wall? So that's the basics for your unit, and just know for stronger transmissions, if it's a RF signal, you're going to pick up on them pretty closely, or excuse me, they can be pretty far away, up to 30 feet away for this unit. And the good thing about the radio frequencies is they have their own, it has its own, it can be on something that isn't found very easily. It can be on a personal line. It's not expensive. You don't have to have an account attached to it, whereas if you're using satellite space, you do have to use some kind of SIM card in order to get that. So radio frequency it kind of lends itself a little more secrecy, so people still use that, but it doesn't have as much distance, obviously, as a digital signal, and the signals are not as strong as a RF signal, and that means they're a little bit harder to find. You got to get a little bit closer in order to find that signal. That's it.